This Sunday. Every Sunday, side by side at the microphone, from the green light to the speed trap, Chris Switzer and Ray Carino calls them as they sees them, and you better believe them. Here, relevant news, biased opinions, and outright bullshit regarding every aspect of automotive culture. Gas, but mechanical trickery never before revealed over FCC-regulated airwaves. Thrill to the explosive tension as Chris and Ray cuss each other down the track and barrel roll across the finish line, laughing at certain disaster as they shake hands for the devil. All that and much more this Sunday at high noon on the Motormouth Radio Hour. Call in and speak live with the Wizards of Speed and live feed, Chris Switzer and Ray Carino. Bring the whole family. Kids under 12 get in free. Every Sunday at noon on WHPC. Take the Long Island Expressway to the Meadowbrook Parkway and look for the sign saying no parking on the expressway and no express service on the parkway. Go right on Highway 24 to Garden City. $2 all-day parking includes pit pass. Sunday!
All right, we are back. Motormouth Radio, Long Island's only automotive talk show, fully vetted, by the way, with your hosts, Ray Guarino and Chris Switzer. Chris, how are you today?
Doing well, sounding a little better than I did last week, but not that much. But I'm doing better.
That's good.
Yeah, doing better. How are you, Almighty?
You know, not too bad myself, not too shabby. Get to the chiropractor this morning to get a little bit of a...
Yeah, but what did he do to your back?
That four-wheel alignment kind of thing.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Did he change your oil too? Say.
No, I didn't do any of that. But yeah, it's a necessity. So you have to take care of yourself. You need to. So yeah, feeling good. Everything is I don't know if I'm enjoying the sudden heat wave. All of a sudden,
come on now.
Yeah, I know.
This is fantastic. I'm loving the, I am in literally the coldest spot in the state is right here at my desk doing this broadcast because I really do think this is the coolest spot in the whole house. Cool meaning temperature wise and not really cool atmospherically wise, but
colder than a mother-in-law's kiss.
Is that the way you want to put it? Okay.
Is that one of the popular ones, right?
But yeah, it's not bad down here during the summer months. So during the winter months, it's a pain. I have like 9 sweatshirts on down here, but during the summer months, tasty. It's very cool. But I'll tell you, you talk about health for a second. This week, I had to literally limber up for the project that I had to do on Thursday, I think it was. Yeah, it was Thursday.
Really?
I had to put the Chrysler in the air and take the tires off it. Throw the tires in the truck, take the tires to the tire shop, have new tires put on, and then throw all 8 of them back into the truck and bring it back home.
Why'd you bring all 8?
Because I want to keep the 4 that I took off.
Oh, okay. What are you going to do with those?
Those are going to get sold.
Oh, wait a minute. Off the Chrysler. I'm sorry. Yeah. Okay. Yeah. I'm confusing the vehicles. Right. Yes. I remember you saying that last week. Correct.
Yeah. Gotcha. And I am taking the advice of our own Billy Velvet. Okay. And we're going to sell these things and see. Now, mind you, they're 45-year-old tires, but they're brand new. They're not cracking. They're in better shape than some of the tires I have on my present cars.
I had this talk with Mike Senior yesterday, same thing, and he said, "Hey, we brought the '65 Impala over to the shop, and I was talking about changing your tires. He goes, what are you gonna do that for?" I'm like, "They're from 2010." He says, "Yeah, they look brand new and they've been inside." I'm like, "I know,
yes.
They don't have the sun, but tires do degrade." I said, "Mike, you listen to the show. We've been talking about this ad nauseum. Tires do degrade even when they sit. Even in a warehouse, they're degrading because they outgas and the rubber it dries out." I said, "And it's a matter of how chancy you want to be." So,
well, I'm selling them for display purposes only.
Well, that's the way you got to do it. Yes.
Yes. So from there, be that as it may.
Gotcha. Okay. Well, that's good.
No, it's full disclosure. There's no reason for me not to. So it's going to be one of those things that if you have a vehicle from 1981 that you cherish and it's a museum piece around that time frame, these tires are for you.
Yeah, there you go. Well, okay. So that's, hey, you know what? And you would probably be the guy who will be able to sell those too. So
give it my best shot.
That's good. That's good.
And worst comes to worst, I'll cut them in half and use them as planters or something. I don't know.
Well, I've seen that. I've actually seen that. I want to show you something. This was kind of funny. This happened earlier in the week. My daughter went out to get her nails done, and in doing so, she had to park around a block. Right? So she took a little goat path to get back to where she had to be, and she ended up down a dead end block, and said, "Wow, Dad, I saw a car. It's short dead end. I saw a car at the end. I thought it was yours." I'm like, "What do you mean?" "I saw this gold car." Because it was gold and it was kind of square and boxy, looking like your car. She goes, "I was hoping it wasn't yours." I was like, "Well, no, not unless it moved to another house."
Right.
So the following day, we had to go out and do an errand, and I said, "Look, let's go down. Let's go find that street. I want to see this. I want to see what you found." And we did. We found the car, and I will show you.
She thought looked like yours.
And I'll put this up. This is going to be the lead picture for the YouTube video this week. So this is what she saw.
That's a 68 Plymouth Roadrunner.
8 or a 9, yeah, I guess.
That's an 8.
What do you use to determine? How are you determining it's a 68?
The grill. And take a look. I didn't notice.
Okay.
I didn't notice the cornering lights. Are the cornering lights?
It's got those little round.
68.
Okay, so there you go. And I said, you know what? I said, you're not that far off. I said, as soon as we came down the block, I said, you know what? I could see. I could see the resemblance. And she goes, "Well, the gold is nowhere near." Like, I said, "Well, yeah, it's not a new paint job. That car's been sitting. I could see the back seat is blown out. The gauge on the
Roadrunner you're talking about.
Yeah, on that car is rusty." I said, "That car was probably was taken out of storage and now brought to the guy's house." And I said, hopefully it's going to get a restoration. It probably needs it.
Sure.
And I said, but I could see how you made that the correlation between the boxiness and the color. I said, good call.
Mm-hmm.
Wrong family, wrong generation, wrong, but close enough. So that was kind of funny. So,
well, nowadays, yes, I guess it would be close enough. If you think about it, at the time when these cars were new or on the road, you probably would have never made that correlation. But because there's a whole massive amounts of bubble cars, like the landscape has completely changed.
Oh yeah,
you could almost say that your GTO and a 68 Roadrunner do share a similar silhouette.
I see it. I saw it right. I agree with her. I said, if you want to get, there's plenty of specifics we can talk about. That,
yeah.
That'll blow it out of the water.
Right.
Said, but there are some that are,
Right. In 1971, those cars would have been totally different from one another because all of them were boxes. So you had to identify the boxes. But now it's not that case at all. We're driving teardrops, all these little bubble cars.
Let's go to the Bubble Car Central and say, "Hi, caller, you're on with the Motor Mouths."
No, you know who I am.
Of course I do.
Hiya, John.
What's up, John?
Yeah, you can start off with, "Hey, John, how are you?"
Well, for the sake of radio, we're supposed to keep you kind of keep people wondering, like, what's what's happening. They don't know that we know who you are.
My mission in life, I've tried to keep everybody wondering for I won't tell you how long, but
yes,
I was laughing when Chris said, "Yeah, I can make planters out of the tires." Right, you probably remember where people were taking rims and then out flipping the tire and making planters out of them.
Absolutely.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Sure.
Yeah.
Yeah, they would take the tire and flip it up and then make them. Or they would take the tires and like cut them in half and make like a barrier wall out of them. Oh,
yes.
Everything with tires, yeah.
Yeah, but I remember planters that were a rim with the tire.
I don't know how they flipped those tires inside out. I don't know how they inverted them. You had to have maybe like 5 guys in the shop. It was probably one guy, back then.
Right, arms like telephone poles. Definitely.
Exactly. Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I don't know what the sidewalls were like. They were probably not like today's standards.
Bias ply sidewalls were pretty darn stiff. That was all the rigidity of the tire. Yeah.
Oh gosh, yes.
Yeah. So how come you're not out at a car show today like everybody else, John? Today is Car Show Sunday. People are out. I know the Westbury Gardens is going. Most of our friends, Chris, are there right now. Staying on the guys.
Yeah, but like Westbury to me is like, oh my God, I'm almost in Queens.
Well, I know, but by you, there's just as many shows. That's the point. There's just as many out east. Yeah.
Yeah,
Yeah.
I should be at a car show too today. It's.
But I didn't want to go westbound because I think you guys got pounded with storms last night.
We had some rain. It wasn't too bad where I was.
I was watching the news channel, the local news channel this morning, and saw the trees down through Garden City, and went, holy! It did not rain at all here.
All right. Yeah, we had some, but not much.
That's the weird part with Long Island. You can get 2 feet of snow, and somebody else got a dusting.
Exactly. Yeah. Exactly. So,
my whole state fits your coastline. So,
yeah, weather being what it is a beautiful day today. Like I said, the shows are cooking. I went to 2 meetings this week with Rick. We went to the Corvette Society on Tuesday.
Oh, cool.
It was the last meeting of the season. Now we'll do a couple events. And the Olds Club, the Long Island Olds Club. There's their shirt for the year.
Oh, yeah, look at that.
Next year's
49th annual.
Yeah, next year's the 50th annual show for those guys.
Damn.
So, and we voted them best
food.
The
show a bunch of times.
Yeah, we voted them best food of any car club. They had a full spread. Got to thank Bob and Tom and Ed. Full spread. I mean, sausage and peppers, eggplant parm, chicken parm, salad. There was ziti, the whole bit. I mean, it was like being at a family event. It was really nice. So we ate like pigs.
So it was a barbecue with cars.
Pretty much, and they had the people from LifeVac there, which was a nice, a nice thing. That's a device that you can get if a child or even an adult is choking. It's kind of like a toilet plunger, but you put it on. It's got a little mask. Oh. You put it on the face, and I did it. I actually went through the procedure with it. You push down kind of slowly. It creates vacuum, and you pull it up quick, and it dislodges whatever's in the throat. So I bought one. Wow. And they had them there as a guest also. So it was 2 good.
Yeah, but they're not expensive, and I've seen. Yeah, it's been on.
They're on
medical reviews.
Yeah, you'll find them. They're hitting Instagram. They're hitting all social medias. There's TV commercials. Very worthwhile device to have is if you're around little kids or even not if you're around people. So
I think it's LifeVac.
Yes, that's correct. LifeVac. Yes.
Yeah. Yes. And it's amazing. And, having a grandchild,
that's why
God
I got
knows what they're going to do.
Yeah.
Better to have it and not need it.
Yep. Exactly. And it's good for an adult, too. They give you 2 masks, one for an adult, one for a child. And they just ask that if you do use it, send them back the mask. And the people said, listen, you can really clean the mask out. It's just a soft, rubbery thing. And you may pull other stuff up with it, depending what the person was eating, but still, you can wash it out and reuse it. They said, we like you to send it back to the company because that's how they track how many lives were saved so far.
Oh, wow.
Because otherwise, how would they know? And it's the founder was right in Massapequa. It's a Nassau County founded product, which is great. So, yeah.
Long Island guy.
Yep.
Son of a gun.
All right.
That's great.
So.
Well, it's definitely a top day down now.
Yes, it is.
I don't think it's going to stay that way later in the day, but
I don't know.
Hopefully you drove to the station in something topless.
Yeah, I did.
John, you going to wear something flimsy today?
Chris, you're starting to scare me. You ask me this every time I call in, but Ray's got my number. Call me.
We'll do that, John. All right, so listen, enjoy the top down day, and we'll talk again soon.
Yeah, well, I got to wait for you guys to finish before I go top down.
All right, well, let us go so we can finish, and then we'll do it. All right.
Guys,
take care, John.
All right, John. So long. All right, you can be like John, 516-572-7440. Check us out, social media, Motormouth Radio on Instagram, not on Instagram, on X and Facebook, _Motormouth Radio on Instagram. Of course, Motormouth Radio and Motormouth Video on YouTube, which did well last week, better than the week before because I put the picture up of the cars and coffee. People like it.
That's why I'm kind
of go with the car pictures here, I guess. I'm going to try and see if I have make a trend.
It's a fine lineup of vehicles there. Good job.
Oh yeah, without a doubt.
Mm-hmm. Your car and the Mustang and Kevin's GTO and that 70 Oldsmobile.
Mike Chevelle.
Mike Chevelle's in there too, yeah.
And we go back to the phones and say, hi, caller, you're on with the Motor Mouths.
Hey, Chris and Ray. Happy Sunday, Motormouth Radio.
What's up, Cliff? How are you?
Hey, Cliff.
All good, all good. I'm just actually heading over to take a quick walk through the Westbury Garden Show, which is an amazing show.
Oh, you're a little
haven't been there in many, many years.
Yeah, I know. Rick is there, Stan is there, all the guys are there.
I showed cars in there in the 80s, so I mean that show it brings out some really cool cars that you don't see every day, and some older stuff, which is kind of I guess the generation for that is kind of dying out, unfortunately.
So actually, the chief judge is Steve from Mike's shop in Limbrook, and he came to our Cars and Coffee last week and was trying to recruit judges. He was talking to Rick and Bobby Jones, and hey, you guys, if you want to be judges, and they were like, we just want to kind of spectate.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah,
don't want to work.
They're becoming shorter guys that judge those type of cars these days, and very cool. But I was laughing before when Chris was talking about all the bubble cars now.
Yeah,
my wife, who doesn't know the difference between a Maserati SUV and a Chevy Trax SUV. Many times she gets out and she actually opens the door of the wrong car and she starts getting into the wrong car.
Oh my gosh!
Wow, that's
it cracks me up. She's done it a couple of times and thank God nobody was in it. But it's amazing how many people leave their doors open.
Yeah, exactly. Just to reach over and open a door in a parking lot.
Right.
Holy smokes!
My wife always complained when she was driving the Mazda that all the cars were silver. Right. So then she stopped driving that. So I got her the Cruise, and now she's all these damn cars are white. I'm like, listen, you're trendy. Yes. You're trendy. What can I tell you?
Silver and white. She gets in, she'll open the door, and says, something doesn't look right inside here.
Yeah. Yeah.
That's hysterical.
That's funny.
That is.
But anyway,
Cliff, I've been using. No, just to let you know, I've been using the Camry. My Camry is silver, and wouldn't you know it, I lost it in a parking lot.
Sure.
I did.
You need a Mickey Mouse ball on the antenna or something.
Yeah, pink flames on it.
Yeah, you people used to put the little balls on the antenna. That's right. And it is amazing because, it must have been something for the manufacturers to have to retool up every year. I mean, except for I remember when I was younger, I used to say Mercedes was one of the only cars that didn't change up a lot. They would run the same body for a lot of years, but every other car was almost like an every year change. Especially when you think about Chevrolet from the 55 through the 60s. It really changed up every single year.
Yes, dramatically.
And so many 1 year onlys.
Right. The foreign cars, you're right, didn't, because Fiat's stayed the same from the 128s, or was it 124s? Even those the Spider like I have was the same from the 60s up until the 80s with some minor changes. So I think they had the right idea maybe for for keeping manufacturing costs down at least.
Right.
I'm just pulling into Westbury Gardens. I'll send you guys a picture later. But amazing, a whole bunch of brass era cars.
Yeah.
There's a brass era car next to a Cobra Kid car. I got to take a picture. It was what an interesting picture, know. And
that's cool.
I see a bunch of old tractors here. Very cool. I mean, that's one of these shows that you really get these cars that don't get out that often. You probably a lot of the UD cars are out here.
Well, and, so I'll give you a hint. Rick, I think, was bringing the Mustang. So God knows what I think those guys were going to be in the back. Stan has his Impala, so he was going to be with the Chevys because he was going to be with what's his name, with Chris's dad. So he didn't bring his Impala for that. So guys are scattered today, Cliff. You're going to have to go searching.
Mm-hmm.
Will do.
All right, say hi for us.
Say well, guys.
All right, Cliff. Thanks.
As usual.
Take care, Cliff.
Bye.
Bye.
Westbury Gardens, yes. 516-572-7440. Be like these guys and make a phone call. That show. I've never been to that show. Never been there. I could have judged in the past, and I always turned it down. Now it's guys are always asking me, "Hey, we're gonna do." I'm like, Sunday. Like that Sunday.
Yeah.
I'm done. I'm out. Sorry.
No, it's the truth. And that's something I was asked to go to a car show today as well. And I'm like, nope, Sunday.
Yep, exactly.
Got to do what I got to do.
Yeah.
You know, it's part of the fabric. It's part of the web of being the car, being the what would you say, the keepers of the flame,
the voice of the community. Well, at least now you have it easier than me, because now I have your old job where I have to go home and download, then edit, then upload. And I was telling Mike yesterday, I said, because he was asking me if I'm going to go over. I said, no. I said, if I leave the station right at 1:00, I said, it'll take me till like, I get home. It'll take me till like 2:15, or maybe a little later, to download, edit, upload, write everything, send it all over the place, send it to you. I said, then I stop. I go sit in my chair for a couple hours, and then 5:00 I go back down and I listen to the show and catalog it. It's always a.
And no one believes this, but this show, after you do the show, you need a nap.
Sometimes,
I know I did. I would, like you say, sit in your seat years ago, and after we would do the show, I would drive home. By the time I'm on the Belt Parkway, I'm ready to fall asleep.
We're not going to fall asleep now. We have a call.
No.
So I'm going to say, hi, caller. You're on with the Motor Mouths.
Hey, Ray. Hey, Chris. It's Michael from Lynbrook. How are you guys?
Oh, Mike, how you doing? I haven't talked to you in a while. What's going on?
How are you?
It's been a long time.
Yes,
sir. I'm good. Before, I had to get out of the car for a brief second, but I heard Chris open up with that he had to warm up before he took the tires off.
Yep.
And then you guys went into a tire conversation, but let's get back to that for a second. Chris, you got to warm up before everything, man. You got to warm up before you shovel. You got to warm up to get out of bed. Warming up is part of everything, and it's a part of what all the mechanics do.
Mm-hmm.
They should stretch a little bit. They should really be in shape to do their job.
Mike, you are so right. Yes, you are. You are so right. Now that I'm at the age I'm at, I thank God every time, or the powers that be, when I finish a car job and I didn't hurt myself.
Yeah.
So you're absolutely right.
What did you do to warm up? When you said I had to warm up, I'm curious, because I'm going to pick on you a little bit if it's wrong.
No, that's fine, because I'm sure you can probably correct me backwards, forwards, and sideways. When I say I had to warm up, first I stretch. I try and reach the ceiling with every possible arm and leg. I'll be on the ground and I'll just reach out, and I'll get on my back and stretch that way. I'll get on like all fours and I'll stretch like a cat. I watch my cat.
Right.
My cat, I think, knows more than I do.
Yes.
So I do that. I do stuff like that. I've been doing these stomach exercises where it's like I'll hold my legs out, or I'll elbow to knee. I'll do that, and I'll do a couple of push-ups, maybe 10. So you just get limber.
You bring up two good points. One, I want to compliment you. When you're taking a tire off of even a raised, elevated car, that's a core. You have to protect your back by strengthening your core. So I have to applaud you for doing the leg raises. There's different and better ways to do it, but at least you're doing that. I'm happy.
Thank you.
Stretching is great, but don't forget that they don't really stretch cold anymore. And the best advice, although this might seem counterproductive, is if you told me you went out for a 10-minute walk, a brisk walk before you started unloading those tires to get your heart rate up a little bit. So keep that in mind.
Good idea. And it's funny because my wife and I do walk around the neighborhood on a daily basis. And we must do about maybe half a mile, maybe close to a mile. That's it. Nothing big.
Get her to lift the tires. Might as well not waste.
Yeah.
You might as well not waste the person.
Mike, I adopted a pattern years ago. Now, when I'm at the shop, I can do it at home too, but especially at the shop, cars on the lift. I lift the car so the tires come off the ground maybe 2 inches, and I take the lugs off, and that's how I take that wheel off. I don't lift it whole. I just let it come off, and it 2 inches it's on the ground, and that's how I put it back too. I don't lift it. I'm not trying to make the deadlift, because you get into some of these SUVs and the trucks, those wheels weigh a ton.
Yeah.
Yes. So your workload is at a level height with your arms. And that's the same as a computer because it doesn't matter if you're working on your workspace and your desk to be level with your eyes and your hands, so it all works ergonomically. So you're doing all the right thing.
We've adopted a long time ago the work smarter, not harder. Dictum. And so speaking of that, I just was at my chiropractor's office this morning, and he even said I've been trying to get him on the show for years. And Mike, you would love him. He's also another Mike, but he's a very homeopathic kind of chiropractor. He's not a.
I remember you telling me about.
Not a crack and rack. He doesn't believe in the modalities or any of that stuff. He is, and his hands are really a thing of wonder. Like what he can do with his hands is, you wouldn't think that. So I want to get him on here to talk about car guys and how to,
Sure. Well, Ray, I was on early on back when you guys first started, just talking about leaning over a bumper and leaning over a fender and how bad that is and all that. It's something you should do every year.
Yeah, exactly.
It's the truth. And I knew, Mike, that what I had to do was I had to take the tires off the car, get them in the truck, get to the tire shop, get the tires out of the truck, get them all mounted, get them all back in the truck, back to the garage and back on the car. Yeah. So I knew it was going to be a physical day. And I knew that my back was I'm going to apply a lot of pressure on a lot of my core. So I've been paying attention to all of those things as I'm getting older, because there are times where I was on the ground lying there going, I can't get up. And years ago,
don't continue to add the caveat as I get up, because the young guys should be doing it too. This way they can do it longer.
You know what, Mike?
What I mean?
Mike Jr. at the shop went through a bout of some sciatica, and I talked to him about it yesterday. I was sharing all my experiences of, what to do when you're in the throes of the problem, and what to do in the meantime to prevent it. And we've been having a lot of conversations about that, getting up, moving, keeping yourself not static.
The term that I know that I coined this term, but I have no proof, but I call it equity, because everybody knows what equity is because they all own homes. You got to build equity in your body so you can spend it somewhere. And that's what people got to do. That's what exercise is. That's what being right is. And that's what staying hydrated is that you got equity in your body. So when you have to go shovel, you have to take off 8 tires and replace them, that you got it in your body.
Right. Exactly.
Right.
That's all.
No, very, very true.
One little thing I just wanted to say before I get off. I got the Pook 77 moped running like a top. And I use it for short runs here and there. I'm getting thumbs up from 10-year-old kids and 80-year-old men. Everybody loves my bike.
That's hysterical.
I thought you had got rid of that. You were going to look for like a more modern type.
I wanted to, Ray, but I can't put this to the curb.
Yeah.
So you know me. I can't. I picked it up from the curb. I garbage picked it as it was. So I actually did find a guy who was willing to come to the house, and I wish I could discuss more concisely about what it was he fixed. But he had to take the bottom of the motor apart. There was some kind of a like a seal that wasn't right. So you could drive the way I fixed it. I could drive it for 10 or 11 minutes, and then it would crap out. He came. He took it. He took the engine apart, and he had to replace some things in the deep part of the engine. And now I go around 30 minutes. It's fantastic. 18 miles an hour.
So excellent. Yeah, so
that's hysterical.
Just to complete the circle, it was one time. It was, I think, when you first got it. I came over the house. I'm looking at it, and you had something else that was almost ready to go to the curb. I said, "What are those?" And you had a set of old speakers. And you said, "No, I took those out of my parents' house. Those are my father's. Can you use them? But they're blown." I'm like, "Let me see." And the foams were shot. And I said, Altec Lansing speakers. I said, "I can fix those. I can rebuild them." And I did rebuild them, and they're in my garage, and I listen to them every day still. So.
Well, in honor of my dad, I'm grateful for
Frank
that.
lives on. Yes, he lives on. But, I don't think he pretty much like the music I'm playing through him. But
right.
No, he's a purist in the sense that didn't go to the curb. He could care less what it is.
I know.
He was the one who got me to take lawnmowers out. if I find a lawnmower or a snowblower in the garbage, I take it home immediately to fix it.
Yeah.
Then I try and get somebody to sell it or something. I can't let that stuff go to the curb.
Mike, I know your whole family, you guys, you're all afflicted like we are. That's why you fit in so well.
Exactly. That's why we all get along.
Right.
That's right. But listen, guys, take care of yourselves. I'm taking care of myself. We got to live a long time, but I'll come in and do the show one day, anytime, if it's going to be helpful for your people.
Sure. We'll do. We'll talk.
You are always welcome.
All right.
Thanks for the call, Mike.
All right. That was Mike is a massage therapist, and he really set me straight. I mean, with some physical stuff, medical stuff going back years ago. We're not going to get into it now, but I credit him for literally saving my life, actually. So
I believe it. I can understand it. And yeah, it is life-saving knowledge. I mean, it's like Mike says, you have equity in your body and you have to get it out and the best way you can. There's another thing I've been doing. It's an old mantra: slow is smooth, smooth is fast.
True.
And I have been literally living that in my technique as far as working on cars. I don't work on cars quickly anymore. I take my time with a lot of things, and it is amazing how much you get done and how much trouble you avoid doing that.
Well, you know what we have to do quickly? It's take our break. We're at the bottom of the hour.
Yes.
So with that, I will tell everybody that our WHPC weather forecast is powered by Pantano's Gourmet with locations in Hewlett and Uniondale. As I look out the WHPC weather window right up there.
What do you see?
Today it is sunny and beautiful. They said scattered showers and thunderstorms developing during the afternoon. Be a high of 83. We'll see. Tonight, some clouds, low to 60s. Tomorrow, mainly sunny. We're in for a week of like 70s with maybe a little bit of scattered showers here and there, but it's going to be beautiful.
Sounds good.
Lithuanian landslide. This show is great. Mondays at 8 p.m. Host Mark from Floral Park answers the bell and spins anything and everything. Sounds like Steve Mandracina. Everything and anything Lithuanian, which is not
right.
It's from the past and the present and both sides of the Atlantic, ranging from jazz to classical to rock and pop, and announcements and more geared to the Lithuanian community. I met him out in the hallway here a couple of months ago. Oh, he was a great guy to talk with. What a phenomenal fellow. So Mondays at 8, you want to tune in to hear WHPC and you can hear Mark. So with that,
sounds good.
Do we have an honor group of the hour?
Yes, we do. Today, the Motormouth Radio Honor Group of the Hour, those mechanics, hobbyists, and car enthusiasts who have never thrown away a nut, bolt, or washer just in case. You know who you are. You got that coffee can, drawer, or old plastic container filled with mystery hardware from projects completed so long ago that you can't remember what vehicle it came from. Unless it's you, Ray. You can remember every vehicle that they came from.
I brought that stuff into the show.
You're right. Yet somehow every few years, you dig through that collection of miscellaneous hardware and find the exact fastener you need that instantly justifies decades of hoarding, storing, and sorting. So to keep the keepers of assorted nuts, bolts, washers, screws, clips, and all other random hardware everywhere. If you are one of those assorted coffee can storage individuals, then you are part of the Motormouth Radio Honor Group of the Hour this week.
Excellent. Yes. And when we come back, I want to talk about this 65 Impala projects. I found some interesting things yesterday. And I want to show you the difference in how the world has changed where oil filters are concerned.
Oh.
Interesting stuff.
Okay, I'll be ready for that. And also, you could text us. You remember, we still have text at 203-670-4127.
Nice.
As well.
All right, so keep it where you got it while we take our break here on 90.3 WHPC.
Total sentence imposed is 10 years in the state prison.
Hi, this is Butch Patrick, and you're listening to Motormouth Radio, just like me.
And this is George Bears, king of the customizer. Listen to Motormouth Radio. We're on the road.
This is Antonio Huggy Bear Fargas, and you're listening to Motormouth on WHPC 90.3. Nice!
Hey! Woo! He did the best. He did the best. He even got the call. He got the call numbers and everything.
This show on 90.3 WHPC is brought to you by CarStar Celebrity Chase Collision, with 2 locations in Limerick and Oceanside, who remind you that New York state law says you always have the right to choose which shop will fix your car. CarStar Celebrity Chase Collision offers a full range of services, 24-hour towing between Montauk and Manhattan, shuttle service, and they can help you with a rental car arrangement if needed. All repairs include the CarStar Lifetime Nationwide Warranty, ensuring that the experts at Celebrity Chase Collision are always on your side.
Y sí, hablamos español.
More information is available at 516-593-0920 or online at celebritychasecollision.com.
Okay, Mark Warman here from Graveyard Cars, hanging out with my buddies at, what's the name of it again?
Motormouth Radio.
Hey, Mark Warman here from Graveyard Cars, hanging out with my friends at Motormouth Radio. Sunday morning, I don't know what this fat bald guy's laughing about. You'll forget stuff soon enough too, my friend. Be sure to listen. When are you guys on? 10 a.m.?
Sundays at noon.
Noon on Sundays.
Excellent. This was
no, you got the promo for the best one was the first one. That's why I was because you said, what was the name of this again? That's the promo.
What better presentation could you do than that?
Hey you, get over here. Every Sunday, 12 to 1, you are going to tune in to hear the Motor Mouths, my friends Ray Guarino and Chris Switzer. 90.3 FM, WHPC. You might learn something.
Yes, you've tuned back into Motormouth Radio with your hosts Ray and Chris. We are back.
We are?
We're back. The second half of the show, the third half of the show will be later on when we do some other cool stuff. So I mentioned oil filters, and I wanted to show you the difference.
Are you cutting oil filters in half again, Ray?
No, this time I did not. So what happened is, just to recap, I brought the 65 Impala that we were talking about into the shop. We picked it up yesterday and brought it in.
Yeah.
Immediately, I did the same thing I did with the olds, with Eddie's 442. Car came off the flatbed, onto the lift, got set up, in the air. Let's take a look. Wheels off. And I did the wheels off 2 inches off the ground, and let's take a look. So when I had,
what did you find?
When I had bought parts for the car, one of the things I got was an oil filter. So in this box,
it's a mighty small oil filter box.
This is an oil filter for my wife's Cruise.
Oh, okay.
So you know what these things look like. It's that.
Yeah, it looks like a gas filter.
All right. Well, here's the oil filter for a 65 Impala.
Mind you, you'll be watching this on YouTube by all means. We'll be repeating this on YouTube. So there are visuals that go along with this. Madonna mia! Wait a minute. That's for the Impala. It's not a screw-on. Hold on. Wait.
This is a canister style filter that was on those early cars. I know because I owned them back in the 70s. It was a big canister. So look at the size of how filters have changed.
My 59 Cadillac had that filter.
Yeah.
But none of my cars in the 60s had that filter. Really?
Well, the Chevys did. They changed. I forget what year. I think it was like 66 or 67, but it ends up, now that I looked, the filter on that car is a spin-on filter.
Oh, okay.
So the owner had now it's still, I still haven't decoded the engine or anything.
So basically on the engine right now is a spin-on filter like we all know and love, correct?
Yes.
Right, because that filter that you showed, the cartridge type, to me is on older cars. That's not on anything. I would say they were done.
But it came that was on a 65 Chevy, because that's what they looked it up. That's a given. Now, I know back in the day, in the 70s, what I did is I took the canister that filter fits into is like steel.
Oh, yeah.
It's a ton with a big bolt in the center of it. It's a Mama Luke.
Oh, sure.
So what I did back in the day is they sold a spin-on filter conversion kit. You took off that canister and you put a plate up. There was a center bolt, and now you could use a spin-on filter. So I don't know if this engine has the I have to go after the show. I'm heading to the shop because I now got to get that the filter that's on the engine off. I forgot to do it yesterday and get the correct filter. So just to show that, I want to show the disparity in filter sizes.
Yeah, amazing.
Why are they so small today? Well, maybe back then, I guess we could extrapolate, say back then cars used straight weight oil a lot of times.
Right. I was thinking the thickness of the oil.
dirtier. I mean, in a few years before that, we had oil bath air cleaners, right?
Sure, which were ridiculous.
So what I found a few things with the car that were kind of interesting, made me smile. I first pulled the front wheels off, pulled the front drums, and I guess it was everybody has their choice how tight they like to make a drum. I remember when I was in shop class in high school, they would tell us you want the wheel to spin like, I think it was like one revolution.
One revolution was my benchmark as well. If you can grab the wheel from the top of the tire and spin it, it should just go around once.
Well, this car wasn't like that. This car was like, it wouldn't go one. It would maybe go a quarter. They were tight.
Boy.
Those shoes were tight. Okay. So I had to go in through the access hole in the drum with a screwdriver and lift the arm that goes across the self-adjuster and then work the self-adjuster loose.
To work it back.
Right.
To pull the shoes back.
And what I found was brand new greased bearings in the front of the hub. And the shoes, hardware, everything in those front wheels was brand new.
How was the wheel cylinder though?
It looked okay. I did pull the rubber cup back, and I saw some rust in there. Okay. I have all the wheel cylinders anyway.
But the brakes were brand new,
and
the bearings were greased,
and they're greased, riveted brakes too.
Oh, so wow!
I'm going to re-grease the bearings and keep the brakes, obviously.
Okay, good.
I did fine when I took the hose off on the right side. It was chafed on the back. There was a flat spot on that hose, so something was rubbing on it. These are the things you don't know until you take a car apart. Because if you looked at the hose through the wheel well, you could feel it and say, okay, it's not the softest, so we know it's old, but it's not cracking. It hasn't blown apart.
Right. And brake line hoses are pretty durable.
And they're multi-ply, but it was rubbing on something. Ooh. Now, the left side of the car was another story. Still new brakes, bearings greased, all of that. But I couldn't get the brake line out of the wheel cylinder. The hex, it rounded. Okay. So I had to take it off of the block. I'll make a little line for that.
Amazing, right? There's the first surprise.
Oh yeah, well, surprise, it wasn't a surprise.
Mm-hmm.
I get to the back of the car. Okay, now the brakes. I had to do the same thing. Back those adjusters off.
Now, mind you, just a side note. This is a vehicle that has sat for many years. It was well maintained up until the point where it sat.
Yeah.
Which is typical of a lot of classic cars nowadays, right? Because they're well maintained up to the point where they're not, but they're just not moving. I'm sorry. Go right ahead. So get to the back of the car.
The rear brakes and springs, they were all old. They haven't been changed, but they're good. They're good enough to keep. I'm not going to change them.
Okay.
Of course, the lines were another story. And I got them off the wheel cylinders. One of them rounded, but then I used these special. Macro Man Brian sold me these pliers. I'll put a picture up. It's a vice grip, but instead of having flat jaws, it has one end is like a V shape, and the other is a point. So you put that over the hex, over the nut, and it grabs it.
Oh, okay. So it doesn't round it, or is not
right. So it did start to round it. It did start to round with the line wrench, but then with that plier, I got it off. The other problem was, and this was another thing that I was scratching my head when I bought the hoses. I looked at the parts up first before I went to the store, and they called for 5 hoses for that car. Like 5.
Yes.
Hoses, right. They called two fronts.
2 fronts, 2 backs, and 1 from the rear end to the hard line.
Well, I didn't know any Chevy that had 5 hoses. I didn't know. The only cars I saw with hoses on the wheels were later model disc brake cars. This is a solid axle car. So, of course, I get under there. No, there's 3 hoses.
Oh, there are. So there's
well, I said
the metal line.
Metal lines to the wheel cylinder.
A metal line that sits on the rear end.
But, of course, that hose, the upper hose that goes to the hard line from the front of the car, it's up on that rear support over the rear end. That's where they anchor it.
Yes.
And that hose goes into a brass T block that branches out to the wheels.
Sounds just like my Chrysler, actually.
It's pretty common. 442 was like that. The Grand National was even like that.
I'm sure.
But to get the line off of that T so you can get the hose out is the problem. Now you're working up over the drive shaft between the mufflers up. It's a tough spot.
It is a tough spot.
And of course, that one, I thought I broke it loose. I said, oh, thank God. No, what happened was the line twisted and broke. So now The 442 did the same thing. And in Eddie's car, I think I took about a 1 foot piece of brake line and I made a splice. I'm considering running this one right to the front. I'm going to see if I can take it off in the front. I'm just going to run a whole new line. Just to be safe.
Yeah. No, it's brakes are brakes, dude. You know that.
So, but the funny part was,
no reason to skimp on that.
No, I know. I mean, and the repair works fine too if the other line is in good shape. So, we do plenty of repairs all the time. So, one of the things I got to do was I opened the trunk of the car. And I don't know when the last time it was opened. And I sent pictures to the guys who are now caretakers of this car because it was Dad's car. And, car's a convertible. So there was a spare tire in there. And there was, of course, there's this big a big subwoofer with 2 speakers, and there's a 10-disc CD changer bolted to the back panel. Everything was very neat, and there was the boot, the convertible top boot stretched out with the lug wrench right there in front of it. All 4 wheel caps for the wheels with that. I don't know why he took the caps off, but they were all laying there, very neat and organized.
So I can see that.
I sent them pictures, and then I said, well, I got to see. I got to see just what's under this boot. I pull it back, and of course, I was totally correct and vindicated. You can take the boy out of Brooklyn, but you cannot take the Brooklyn out of the boy. Because what did he have? 2 milk crates filled with cleaning products. Every soap, sponge, wash, polish, blanket, everything in the world.
I could see it.
A quart of oil. There's a thing of bread. You name it. I'm like, the guy had a garage. What's he using his trunk for storage for? I had me laughing. I'm sitting there laughing, saying, you boy, you know what? You really, something just never changed.
Because it had to be ready for the car show. Are you kidding? Of course. Yeah. Of course. Wow. I could see them. You're right.
Yeah. So
not 1, but 2. That's hysterical.
I'll send you some pictures later.
Yeah, I would love to see that. But yeah, it's amazing what a lack of use can do to a vehicle. It really is. It's a shame almost. Cars need to be driven. It's as simple as that. And I had a laugh just because I put just back to the Chrysler for a second, because I put new tires on it. I had a certain amount of confidence when I put it on a highway. And that car was fantastic on a highway. It just drove so well. And I'm like, with these new tires on it, I mean, don't get me wrong, it drove really well with the old tires on it too. But I didn't, I was fearful of putting it on a highway for long periods of time. Sure. So you drive with your heart in your mouth. But now at least I have a certain amount of confidence, and it just drove beautifully. And I always say these things need to be driven. Yeah.
Yeah. I was sure your car is going to be the same as mine. Cars that are in garages, I get so many like cobwebs under the car. All sorts of dust bunnies. This car, this Impala, was like clean underneath. It was because it was in a storage facility. And I mean, it was a little dusty in it, but nothing like the junk that gets in my own garage. I get more garbage under the car.
Mm-hmm. I told you I had a spider living under the Triumph. I swear he was a regular.
Lord Bentley.
Right. Yeah. He was a regular under there. I would see him every time.
And didn't he talk to you once or twice? Did he?
Well, yes. And then I fell asleep and woke up and everything was fine.
Yeah. How did that go? I remember you relayed that on the air one time. It was,
after a couple of drinks, the spiders start talking to you.
Do you remember what he said? Because I remember you were very, it was a very.
I'd probably sell this car.
No, I think it was like, hello, this is Lord Bentley.
This is Lord Bentley.
Yeah, a very good English accent, right? And
of course he had an accent.
The only other guy that I know that had that affliction was our last caller, Mike, or Chip as I call him, because he had 2 Triumphs. He didn't have one; he had 2. So,
yeah, he had 2 Spitfires.
No, he had a Spitfire and a.
Oh, he did. You're right, he did. But I do remember him talking about the Spitfire.
And when it came time, because he had that one first. He got that in high school. And then when it came time to maybe get rid of one, I was like, get rid of the Spitfire. They're too small. I've worked on the car. Oh my God, it's small. And he did get rid of the 6 because the Spitfire had more, like everybody, that had more of a connection to him than the other car. So he, he did get rid of the and the 6 did need more work. Like, they always need some kind of work.
Oh, they sure do.
Yeah.
There's a woman not far from me here, that older woman, and bought a TR6 brand new. She still has it in her garage. And she
Nice.
came over to me and she asked me who was my mechanic. She pulls up. She said, "Didn't you
Ah,
have a TR6?" I said, "Yes, I did." She says, "Who is your mechanic?" I said, "You're talking to him."
yeah, yeah, yeah.
I said, "I'm the guy."
Right.
So I've offered my services. I said, "Look, if you want me to come and take a look at it, I'll be, pleased as punch."
Okay.
She was like, "No, no, no." But I did offer. There were a couple of TR6 mechanics, technicians up here that I did say, "Here, go here, go here, go here." So I told her
Okay.
pretty much, because she was just wanting to bring it to a professional, and I'm like, "Yeah, fine, go ahead, do
Does
what
she
you have to
drive
do."
it kind of normally or
I don't know. I've never seen it move.
so maybe another one of those cars been sitting in the garage?
Yeah, sometimes the cover's off it, because sometimes the garage door is open. I know where it is,
Right.
and the cover's off it, or sometimes the cover's on it.
Oh wow. That's odd.
So yeah, so
Yeah, that's odd.
I leave that alone. I had left just recently, up the block from me. Some new people have moved in, and I drove by and I looked in the garage, and through the glass panes, I saw like kind of like a roll bar, and I went,
Mm.
"What is that?" I didn't think it was anything fast because it was a tall roll bar. I was like, "What is that?" And then I had the opportunity, saw the garage door open. He had in the garage is like a late 80s Suzuki Samurai
Oh wow.
with the convertible top, the cloth. Remember those, the ones that were rolling over all the time? It's sitting there. It looks brand new. And I had left because I met him recently. I had the Chrysler, and I pulled up and I saw him. We were chatting it up, and he's like, "Hey, like, you're a car guy." I'm like, "Hey, so are you?" He's like, "Not like this." Like, he's telling me.
No, listen, I was driving around down in South Carolina last month and spotted this in someone's driveway.
That's cool.
And there
Little
you go.
Suzuki
That's
Samurai.
a Suzuki Samurai in really
Yeah.
good shape. I was
Yeah.
like, wow, that's a cool little truck.
And he's telling me about joining the club, and these guys are just like indebted to these cars. They love them. They love these things. And yeah, I miss mine. I know. I
Yeah.
know Dougie's going to yell at me, but I do. I miss it. And if I find one, I mean, if I find another one, it would be a stick and it would be a convertible. I wouldn't get another four-door automatic. No,
Right.
that kind of fell in my lap. But
Right.
if I was looking for one, and this guy's telling me he's going to rebuild the head on it and do
Okay.
it right in the garage. I'm like, "Dude, you're awesome."
Yeah, sure.
So yeah, it's kind of funny how these car people come in and out of your lives.
I will tell you, Haggerty does a lot in that realm where they champion some of these oddball cars that now, because they see what people are collecting and insuring.
Right.
And they will report on it, and stuff like this, like the Samurais, the Sidekicks, are one of them that they're just kooky enough that people kind of want them, and it's
Oh
fun
yeah.
thing.
If you think about it, cars from the 80s now, in a value sense, are skyrocketing to the point where you and I will look at each other and go, "You're going to pay what for that?"
Oh, I
Like,
know.
because we lived through it. We've beaten them up. We've used them as regular drivers, and now these cars are becoming like collectible to this new and up and coming group of car guys. Where cars from the 50s, and even worse, cars from the 40s, their values are stagnating because no one is interested in them. Basically, I mean,
Well,
there's still
yeah.
an interest in them,
That's
but
it's
not
like
growing.
it's like what Cliff said about Westbury Garden Show. That show was always brass era and up, like Model A's, T's, and there just aren't as many of them around. The guy, like Steve said, he's in the AACA, the club, and he said the problem is there's less and less people in the club. They're dying. They're aging out.
Yeah.
And he says the club isn't what it used to be. But you can't reinvent that. You can't reinvent it's the Antique Automobile Association of America. You can't reinvent that club. You can't modern cars in the antique club. So that's a problem. Those guys are having a problem.
Yeah, they sure are, because who knows how to fire up a Stanley steamer? I mean, you literally have to talk to Jay Leno.
Yes.
In order to, he's like the premier steam automobile brass era technician, know-it-all.
Right.
And you better keep making movies, Jay. You better keep making these videos, because that's all we're gonna have.
Brian had told me about a video, and I did watch it now, that Jay Leno just did. He had the guy from Adam 12, Reed. I'm blanking out on his name. I'm sorry. He has a Porsche in 85 85, I guess it was, or was it 81? Porsche 920, I probably got it wrong, 924 Turbo. Okay. That was an oddball car. It was a 4-cylinder turbo. Back then, it didn't have a lot of horsepower, but it was a good driving car. And he's had it since new. And they did a whole 45-minute segment, almost an hour segment on this thing, going over the car and driving it. And he was saying he's done 10 turbos in this car already, replaced it 10 times.
Oh my gosh.
Those were the turbos that would spool at 10,000 RPM. And when you shut the engine off, those things would spool down with no lubrication. Because the engine was shut off. So he said he has a shutdown technique that he has. He says he keeps the papers in the glove box and he tapes them to the steering wheel when he brings it in for service. You got to run that car for a minute. So there's some intricacies and quirks about it, but again, they were kind of oddball, but now they're it's definitely a collectible automobile.
Oh yeah, 924s, Porsche, those Porsches, or the 914s. Remember those, the Volkswagen Porsches? Right. They're all on their way up. Finally,
this was the Volkswagen. This was a Volkswagen Porsche too. It was in the days when they were, but they said Audi had some design elements in the engine. And then, that was kind of that period where people at the Porsche guys are going, oh, I don't like what they're doing with our car,
Yes, exactly. And it's funny you should mention Audis. That is also something that is taking a dive value-wise. Our late model to 20-year-old luxury cars, Audis, Mercedes, BMWs, worthless. They don't want them. No one wants these cars. No one wants to fix them.
One of the first inspections I did was on a BMW 750. Was it a 750 or 740? 40? Beautiful car, man. It looked like an Aston Martin, the way that the bodywork was beautiful, but it was a little bit of an older car. I thought it was really, really nice.
You sure it wasn't an 8 Series?
I have to look back and see. Who knows?
It sounds like an 8 Series.
I could be wrong. It could be.
7 Series was the sedan, the big sedan. 8 Series was the 2-door.
Oh, this was definitely a 2-door swoopy.
Yeah, it's like the Caddy Eldorado of BMW.
Oh, this is definitely a swoopy coupe.
Yeah, that's the 8 Series, I think.
Nice to drive too. Nice.
Oh, they're fantastic road cars. And they were from 2001, 2002 to 2006.
Right.
So 20-year-old car. No one wants them. Their values are just in the drink because they can't service them economically.
Yeah, true.
It's a $2,000 oil change, no matter how you look at it. So a lot of kids don't want them.
Right.
Just a lot of newbies, new to the hobby, to the craft.
Well, I'm going to do an oil change on that Chevy. I'm going to go down to the shop and get that filter off, make sure I get the right part, take a better look at those brake lines so I can decide what to buy to reconstruct it now during the week. Now the car goes back to the construction phase. Order a carb kit from Mike's. So get that and do a rebuild on the carburetor and it will be good shape.
That car will be running before you know it.
It will be. So what do I tell the people waiting for me out in the parking lot for advice?
Don't follow us home. Unless you have a shop manual for a 65 Chevy.
I had the guys bring it. I got to pick it up. I left it in the car. I'm going to bring it home with me. All right, Chris. We'll see you next week with more Motor Mouth Radio. Maybe a guest, maybe not. I don't know. We'll let you know. Until then, we're over and out on 90.3 WHPC.
Thank you both for listening. See ya.